Hey guys, this is Kugli here with a video for you, and this time I've got something special. That's my 2021 Renault Kiger, and I'm here to tell you my experience of owning one and all the niggles and stuff, what I've done with it, what I plan with it for 14,500 kilometers. So stay tuned for that. So guys, this is my Renault Kiger 2021 RxZ Turbo CVT, which I got for myself back in 2021 when I desperately needed a car because my old car was a Chevrolet Beat that kind of exploded and didn't work out really well. So this is my car. If you haven't seen my user review when I got the car, it was almost 2 years old, and I thought it was time for me to tell you guys how it has been to live with this car and how things have worked out, to be honest. And well, right off the back, TLDR, it is a great car. It was the best option at the time as per me. Let's get started. First and foremost, right now this car has around 14,400 something kilometers on it, almost 14,500. I have been basically using it for every type of family trips. We have gone on long trips, almost 2,000 kilometers, week-long trips and all that with the entire family. My family consists of 4 people, including myself, and it has been really good for me. I have no issues with recommending going on a long trip with this car. There are niggles, I won't lie, there are some niggles with the car which I will get to in a bit. So this video is going to be about how's my experience with the car, how are the service and the intervals and the cost and all the troubles which comes with a car service, what I have done with it, what are the accessories which I put on, what are the things which I've put on it, which includes the official catalog or official accessories which I gotten, modifications which I've done, well, not much modification, just bolt-on stuff which I've done, what I plan to do with it at some point. So let's get started. First of all, the service and everything, or how is it to live with this car. This is a very mannered car. When you use the car, when you own a car, like I'm a middle class family, right? So you want it to do everything. You want it to be your pickup truck, you want it to be your S-Class, you want it to be your Rolls Royce, you want it to be your Lambo, you want it to be doing every single thing which you think it may be able to do, and you wanted to do it. It does do most of the things really well. The cargo space is amazing. I have actually transported a lot of things. You can see like coconut shavings and everything here because we do transport coconuts to and from the mill and everything. This is great. This is flimsy, but I don't think we were expecting anything other than that. There is no way to grab the handle, so you have to do this, and it will eventually have like a fingerprint or finger dust mark there. In terms of owning experience, I've had very few issues in the past 2 years or so which I've owned it. We had one major issue with the entire electrical system, but that was mostly our fault because we wanted to connect. We do use one of these things. This is basically a camera recording system. It has a socket connection for the charge. I wanted to connect it to the fuse box so that it is always running. Kind of botched it up. We took off some fuse. We took it to an aftermarket people. They did something wrong with it, and the entire infotainment system froze up. All the lights were blinking. We had to use their roadside assistance program to take the car away from our home and get it to their place, and they were really good. The service guys, my god, I will say I've owned quite a few cars back in my days. I've had a Suzuki 800, Alto, Hyundai Xandro, and after that it was a Chevy Beat, and I have this car. This probably has been the best service experience I've had. Maruti, they have unlimited amount of service centers. Renault, not much, but I am actually happy about the service center which we have access to, and it is amazing. It works really well. That was one of the major issues which we had. Another one, no issues with the engines as of yet. We had one issue where we thought the fuel was leaking because we could smell the fuel when we were on one trip to Ooty. After we came back, we did take it to the service center. They checked every single thing. It was free actually. They did not charge us any money for a proper checkup. This is something which I always do whenever we go on a long family trip or any sort of trip. We do check the car. I do take it to the service center. They haven't really charged me for anything other than if they want to change anything. I have changed brake pads and all. The important part is the service center guys are amazing. They do care for us. I have felt it because I didn't have that kind of experience when I had my previous car, which was Chevy Beat. I mean, that can be debated because Chevrolet was not there when we wanted service. I have friends who has a Swift. I have friends who has an S-Cross. I have friends who has a Brezza. They have good service. I'm not going to bash on them or something, but I am really happy with the Renault Kiger service. So that's my take on that. The usage of the car, it's not the most refined car available. Let's just get that straight up done. It's a 3-cylinder. Yes, it is quite vibey. The refinement levels are not the best. It has around 205 mm of ground clearance unladen, which is quite true. I have no issue taking it off onto high ledges or anything. I have never worried about bottom hitting. For everywhere I have gone, I have had absolute confidence in the riding ability of this car. The wheel wells do tend to leak into the noise from the wheel well, like the suspension noises, you know, the springs loading and unloading. All of that noises do come up on the inside of the car. I have had this before. Kind of does cause you to look at it and feel that I wish it was more defined, but this is what I wanted. This is raised up crossover, not an SUV, but it has the ground clearance and the semi capability of an SUV, so I'm actually okay with that. Apart from that, yes, the cabin does roll around a little bit because of that ground clearance and because of how high the vehicle sits on its tires. It does roll around. There's no going about that. But I never felt it was boaty. Back when I did drive the Hyundai Venue during the test drive, that was very boaty. Every time I changed the steering or the direction, it just felt like I'm the sea. It kind of felt very boaty. This is not that boaty, but because of it being stiff springs, I think it is because it is stiffer, it does translate to whenever I do make quick changes, especially the back passenger, they will feel it. They will definitely feel how rolly it is. Usually the thing is, my mom does have seasickness or like riding sickness, so she always sits in the front seat. My dad always sits in the back seat. I've had numerous complaints from my dad about my driving, but that's just normal Indian parent stuff. They're never satisfied with their sons or daughters driving. That's just how it is, especially if they know how to drive. So that's something which I have grown to accept. But yes, it is not the most refined riding experience. If you do remember my previous video, I got this car mainly for the driving or the riding. The confidence it gives me, the handling it has, that is perfect. Just pointing it, the steering feels so connected. I love the steering feel on this one. I love how the suspension works. It is very confidence inspiring. I never felt that way in another car. By the time I bought this car and now, almost all of the cars have had a lot of updates. Even the Kiger has had quite a bit of an update. I haven't driven the latest version. As well, I haven't driven the latest Venue or latest Sonnet or latest Brezza. So I can't really say if the Venue have had a suspension tweak. I'm not going to be the judge of that. But I do say it's a really, really good car with a lot of thought went into a lot of things, but not everything. Now, the service experience is really good. We call them, they tell us, okay, come by 10 o'clock or whatever. I keep the car there. If it's a normal service, they give it back by noon time. So it's like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 hours. If it is something which I wanted to get checked, they take it away right then and get it done. It might be because of the volume. Renault cars are not that much seen where I'm from. Maybe if you have more volume, if you're from a city where there are a lot of Renault cars, maybe it changes, but I'm just talking about my experience. They are very nice people. Like, they do cater to your requests. If you tell them something, like when I said, like I had a fuel leak, they immediately sprung into action. They asked me to bring it. They also asked me if I wanted it towed. I said, no, it's okay, I can bring it. I even used their pickup service, and it's going to cost us like, what, 300 rupees or something, which is dirt cheap when you consider that it's a pickup service from my place, which is around an hour, more than even an hour from where I live. That was great. Anyways, whatever it is. So that has been my experience living with this car. In short, I am really, really, really happy with how this car works, how this car handles, how this car feels. Service wise, really happy. Build quality wise, yes, there are niggles. It is a little rolly because it is higher, and it does have creaks and like rattles whenever you are at speed, at different speeds. CVT has its own issues where you know the rubber band effect. Yes, it is there, but the turbo petrol engine feels, that rubber band effect is something which you can live with because of the performance on offer. Hilly climbs, yes. So I have gone on a lot of hilly places like Uti, Munnar, Palakem 130, which is in my place, a lot of places. And yes, it can do it. It'll do it slowly. Put it in low gear, put it in sport mode, because other modes not very good, because you don't have that response. Like, you want to have that response when you have broken roads and everything. So put it in sport mode and it'll just climb whenever you feel you need to climb. So yeah, let's get to what I have done with this car. Here are the things I have done to this car. Alright, there are a few things. Okay, cosmetic wise, yes, I have got a stripe which kind of looks like that, whatever it is. I have cosmetic wise, okay, I have another sticker which I have put in. These are all show off stuff. Just wanted something, okay, this is not important. I also put a petrol sticker just because, well, I didn't want the fuel station guys, if in case I forgot to tell them. I know there is petrol written inside, but like, I don't want them to make a distinction or whatever it is. So those are the few things. I did do a vinyl wrap on the top. This is not the dual tone version. I got the normal version, full option. The dual tone would just push it at about 10 lakh and make me have to take the luxury tax. I didn't want that, so I put a wrap job. I also got their ceramic package. I had the 3-year package, so it is great. It is really good. I've enjoyed the car thoroughly. The ceramic package has been working very well. I don't really have much scratches. Yes, it is a bit dusty because I don't really clean it. They do advise not to clean it too regularly because water damage is a thing. Cosmetically, these are the things. Vinyl wrap on the top just because I wanted the dual tone look. Few stickers here and there, nothing special. I have gotten a floor mat from Amazon, which is supposed to be one of those 7D floor mats, which has this quilted pattern and this grass thing so that I can empty it out. Well, I say empty it out so that I can empty it out, not that I do, because this is the last time I went to the beach, which was about last week. I haven't even cleaned it yet. That's a thing. But other than that, I do have these, let's say, gutters or rain gutter kind of things. These are really useful because I do drive without the AC on and with the windows slightly down, but not full all the way down. So you just crack it open and it's still protected. I don't have the wind in my face all the time, and it still keeps it cool, and the fresh air is circulated and all that, blah blah blah. I love these things. So these are aftermarket. I did not get it from Renault itself. I got it from Amazon, but I did get the Renault guys stick it with their glue because that is better. I tried to stick it, it fell off, and I carried it in my trunk for close to 2 months before I went to Renault's service center. They stuck it for me. They were really helpful with that. Apart from that, I do have one of these DRLs which I do use here, which is really good. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the daylight, but it is really nice, like seriously nice. If I turn on the lights, and I don't know if you even see that, it is really subtle and it is just amazing. I love how it looks. It does have sweeping indicators also with that. It is just subtle. It is just perfect. You know how in Kia Seltos it has a line which goes up to the center? That it is just cool. I really like. I also put these stripes. You can find this in Amazon for super cheap. These are not expensive. There is a Renault official accessory option which gives you a big old thick strip. I said, you know what, I can get like these strip for 120 rupees or whatever, so I don't really need it. Inside I also have this trick, which is this one. You see, this is white. Originally this was yellow, so I got the T10 bulbs for like 114 rupees, literally 114 rupees. It was super easy. It is simple to install. I'm pretty sure I made a video of it but never edited it or uploaded it. Other than that, aesthetically, I have a clock, which is, it just looks so much better having an analog clock. For car scent, I use an Involve spray, and it has been with me for more than half the life of the car, and I have not thought about any other thing at all. Okay, you already know about my camera thing, so I do have the cameras. It does have a front camera and a rear camera. Both of them worked really well. I have used it quite a bit just to get the footage off of really scenic places. It's not the best camera, okay, it's really not the best, but for what it is and how much I paid for it, it is super easy. I think right now Renault itself has an official rear view display with the camera and all that. It's a bit more expensive, but to be honest, if you do want the OEM satisfaction or OEM comforts, just get that one of those. It is really useful. Oh, I do have one of these MagSafe camera phone chargers. I keep my phone here. I do have like Waze or something open whenever I want to look at the maps. It does have Android Auto, and Android Auto is a godsend, to be honest. Like, there is nothing which can take me away from Android Auto or Apple CarPlay if you have an iOS device. The infotainment system is slow. There is no getting around it. Yes, it works, but it's not the fastest thing out there. It is quite slow. And oh, great. So I could show you. Sometimes this thing happens where I'm trying to control it. Yeah, it is now connected to assistant, and it just doesn't work. The controls doesn't work. I have to display, like, turn it off and on from the display itself, and the steering controls doesn't work. It happens rarely, but when it happens, I have to turn it off and turn it on again. It never happens when I have everything set up, or it only happens once in a while when the car is starting up at some point and something happens. I'm not really sure how or why it happens. I do have a few charging ports. I have a charging port here which is connected to my MagSafe charger, and this is a TPMS. Now, you know that this car doesn't get a TPMS in the dash. I think the newer version does get it, but when I got this one, there was no TPMS option. I wanted TPMS. This is a super cheap option. You can get it for like 2,500 rupees or even 1,600 if you're lucky enough. This is an external mount system and not an internal mount, so of course theft protection is a thing. This one, I mean, if somebody wanted to take it, they can take it, but I don't know what they're going to take it with just 1 or 4 pieces. Like, they need the internal also, right? I'm not sure. But anyways, the only problem with this is when you want to fill up, you have to remove the nut, and you need the spanner for it, and sometimes it gets very difficult to remove it. I have replaced the battery on this like 2 times already in the last 2 years, which is fine, but you know, you still have to do it. Apart from that, what did I get? I got this toolbox. Well, this is just a normal box which you can get for whatever. I do have a jumper cable because this is an automatic car. You cannot roll start the car if you need to start the car. In case I need it, I do have a tire puncture repair kit because you have all the tools and everything here. I have heard reports that this thing breaks very easily. It's flimsy. It has not broken on me yet, so I'm okay with that for now. If you remember, Kiger had this infamous problem of this area being completely open, and it is still open. I'm not saying that it's closed, but because of how it was, all the wiring for the rear tail lights and everything was kind of in the way, and whenever there is monsoon, the entire thing goes inside. It gets messy inside. They have put an insert there, so the wiring and everything is not damaged or waterlogged. I did get it like first thing when I got the car. That was the first thing I got from the dealers. As you know, the inside of the Kiger is nothing to write home about. It is just a simple inside. It's all black. Even the headliner is seriously a gray, which is very dark. The entire thing is dark. I did get these neck pillows, these cushions. It works amazingly well for me, but for my mom, she is only this tall, so it kind of hits her head on the top, so she just keeps it like this. I did get a screen protector for the screen just so that it doesn't have too much fingerprints, or whenever it gets smushed, I can just wipe it and not worry about the fingerprints on it. The interior is definitely very plasticky. These are not soft plastic. These are very, very hard plastic. It does have a nice texture. Here is the texture. I do have some plans for it. I do want to get a interior redesign. I do want to have lighter colors and all that. I'm aspiring towards it. I'm not really sure when I will get it done or how I will get it done. Steering wheel, I did not put any leather even because I like the feel of it. It is a softer kind of plasticky feel. It's alright. I'm okay with that. It is kind of a flat bottom, which is cool, I guess. So yeah, these things do make it a little bit cool. So of course I do have one of these Lambo inspired start stop button. It has gotten very loose and very scratched up because I use it all the time. I do have a silicone cover, and you know, the silicone cover is probably the best thing which I did for it because it doesn't essentially have like a key holder which I can just put the key. I mean, of course I can do it, but it'll flop around because it's plastic. Silicone holds it. Like, it really holds it anywhere I put it. So this is where I usually put my key, and it works. Yes, the normal niggles of the seatbelt buckle being so inside there, you don't get to it. When you use the car, you just get used to it, and you do that like instinctively afterwards. I did change the wiper blades. These are pretty standard. I do want to talk more about it when I drive it, but as you see, it's pretty awesome. Like, I really like it. I do have blindside mirrors because these are very useful when we are driving in traffic. So what are the extra stuff which I have gotten from the official catalog? Very few things which I gotten. I didn't really get anything special. I did get the front bumper, the piece of plastic which is this. Just feels like it completes the look. Apart from that, I did get the engine guard on the bottom of it. So that would be at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, there is a plate here, right? I hope you can see that plate, but yeah, there is an engine plate. I did get that just to get it protected. I did get an under coating, rubberized coating for rust protection and all that. Can I show it to you guys? Yes, you can see this. So I do have a rubberized coating. Do I need it? No, not really, but I mean, it was kind of cheap option which I had an option with. So that's another thing which I got with the official dealers. Did not get any cladding or anything from the dealer itself. This is just a sticker how it came. Ooh, one more thing which I did get is one of these. These do prevent a lot of mud. These Kigers have a known issue of whenever the mud gets in here, it just stays here, and unless you clean it, it creates a spot. I did get the mud flap. That's also something which I got from the dealers, and that's pretty much it. All the things which I got from the dealers. Ooh, there is a plane. Alright, so there you have it. That is the complete rundown on the Kiger. Now I'm gonna take you on a spin, basically show you guys how it is, how it drives and all that. So let's do it. So guys, let's put it into reverse, put it in this. I don't know if you can hear, like you can see this one, right? It's vibrating. Yeah, it is vibey. It's a 3-cylinder, not as refined, understandable. The camera is potato quality, the reverse camera, but I'm glad we have a reverse camera. If not, well, I can also see it here, which is cool enough. Let's go and get ripping. How is the car itself? I'm going to put the AC on 1. Hopefully you won't be able to hear it too much. Okay, when going through broken roads like this, listen. Okay, that's the outside, like bushes rubbing, but yeah, this is a very broken road which I know of, which I do commute almost every day. So you can hear every tire suspension moving in and moving out. Not a bad thing, but it's a thing which you do need to keep in mind whenever you are driving around in a car like this. Apart from that, also, if it is not a perfectly smooth road, listen, there's some rattles coming from these panels, right? There are some rattles coming from the rear panel on the left side. I have spent hours checking where it's coming from and couldn't figure it out, but it is what it is. And yeah, these are the things which you kind of have to live with. Am I complaining too much? Not really. I'm not saying that these are unlivable and this makes it trash. No, I like it. I still love the fact that the car drives the way it does and does everything I want this car to do as good as it possibly can, and I like the feel of it. Yeah, it's bouncy. It's bouncy. Like the roads are like that. At least, okay, this is a very pocket road. Nobody comes here other than auto rickshaws and buses and lorries. I drive through here because of the scenery, which is not the best, I guess. But yeah, it is what it is. I like it. But when you go on a smoother stretch of road, I will show you, and you will see how smooth it rides, and you will see how easy it is. Now, a lot of people have asked me about this thing, the AC performance and the fuel efficiency. AC performance, let's see. The AC is very efficient, okay? It is very efficient. I really like it, but it can get very loud. If you want the cabin to be chill, you put it on 3 is the maximum where I think it is quiet enough, but the moment you put it on 4, it gets very loud, and full speed, of course, it's going to be loud. I hope you can hear the AC vent running, and I do have 2 of them like directed straight to my face, so that might be the reason you will feel that it is on my this thing. But to be honest, if you want it to be chilled for like, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so, get it chilled with the full speed or whatever, and then after that put it on 2, like the 2 levels. It is way super quiet. It is amazing. It maintains the AC inside the cabin, and I like it. This is how I do it. I just chill it whenever I come back to the car. I chill it at full blast for maybe 5 minutes or so. It gets really cool, and then I put it on 2, and it just works. I enjoy it really well. Now, fuel efficiency, I don't know if you can see it, but right now it says my average fuel efficiency is 9.5. It was not. Okay, it is not. Something happened when I gave it away for servicing last time. Maybe they were stuck in traffic for too long running the engine or something like that. That might be the reason the thing is like this. I would say about 11 if you're a normal car user. 11 to 12 is what you can expect. If you only go on highways, maybe 15 or 16. If I do go into my efficiency chart, right now I'm doing 9.1, which is not very good, but that was hilly, right? If I do go for my previous one, you can see the best I've gotten is 29. That is me coming down from Paidalmala, which basically coasting around, not using the accelerator at all. And it also works, okay? It also works. But it is what it is. It's not the most fuel efficient car in the world, especially because it's a CVT. The manual will give you more fuel efficiency, but I'm not here for fuel efficiency. To be extremely honest, I don't really care too much about fuel efficiency. It's just one of those things. It's good. If I have it, great. If I don't, well, I'm here to enjoy the car. I like driving this car. And before, like, you saw the stickers and everything, right? I used to have the Mustang stripe. I had to remove it while I was going to the main city because I'll be there for a long time and I didn't want any trouble, so I had to remove it. But I don't know, man, I like this car a lot. It just feels so good. I just like this. So like it is one of those cars which gives me immense amount of joy to ride. I did not have that in the Swift. I did not have that in my Beat. Okay, I'm not a car rider by the long shot. I ride car only if I have to, like to take family with me and things like that. That's the only time I do, take the car out. Otherwise, I'm usually always on my bike. I'm a rider. But this is one of those cars which I just like. It's small. It's not that small that my dad cannot sit in because he's 6'2". It's not as like gaudy and uncontrollable as a Creta. It's not as boaty as a Venue. You see, I'm in normal mode. I'm not even in power mode. If I do put it in power mode, which I will, because why not, like it becomes so much more lively. I love the liveliness of this car. Like the steering weighs up, it is amazing. The throttle response is amazing. Yes, it does roll around a little bit, but that creates a little bit of drama, I think. I like it. It's not boaty in the sense that it's uncontrolled rolling. That's the main thing which I did not like. Ew, Honda L8. That's cool. L8, whatever it's called. And that is the thing which I loved about that. Like this car instead of the Venue, it felt like uncontrollable rolling. It was just rolling and just swinging around. I did not like it. Otherwise, the Venue was an amazing pick. I don't know about the new one. It has more tech, more stuff, more everything. It might be the best right now, but oh my god, there is a crane coming. I don't know if I can make it. I can make it, that's fine. So yeah, this is my car and I really like it. I've already told you guys about my plans later. I do plan on doing the interiors because I want a little lighter color. The main reason is that I want it to feel a bit, open. Of course, we don't have an option for sunroof or anything. Oh, the things which are missing in the older one rather than the new one. The new one gets DC, new one gets cruise control. Great little features to have. Would I say that they are important? I don't know. They are pretty useful. Traction control is a really good safety feature if it is raining and if it's like that. It's really useful. I would say that if you have the option to get the traction control in the car, of course you should get one. You should not look into another alternative. Back in the time, this one did not have a traction control and I did not feel like it's a 100 horsepower car with 1,000 kilos weight. How bad it's gonna be. But I have had issues with traction when you're accelerating hard on loose surface and all that. It does wheel spin. It's a front wheel drive car, okay, so it does have a torque steer, but it's manageable. It's not that it is utterly unmanageable kind of torque steer or anything of that sort. It's very manageable. It is quite easy to go around with your day, and if you just want to just cruise around, I have literally found no use for this eco mode. Like, I'm on eco mode now. Well, my battery ran out, so I had to stop recording. But okay, in the meantime, I got some fuel. I was talking to you guys about eco mode. So in eco mode, it's just, let's just say that eco mode is just not worth it. I don't know why you would have it. It's not even giving you any efficiency benefits. It's all in your throttle control. Only thing is that it just doesn't go anywhere. I'm putting it full on, and when you put it full on, it's not in eco mode anymore, so it doesn't really matter. Put it in normal, have some control over your throttle, and that's it. If you want to overtake and if you want to climb hills, just go to power mode or like sport mode, and it works really well. Like right now I'm in eco mode. this thing happened now. Why? So now I'm trying to put it in power mode, and yeah, this has happened to me a few times. I'm not really sure if my dial is an issue, and it's not an easily reproducible issue so that I can complain or tell the service center guys about it. I'm sure they will do something for me. So yeah. Anyways, other than that, I also wanted to show you guys about the infotainment system. Like in the infotainment system, it's very slow. If I want to type something, it's not easy to type. Like it just doesn't register half of the time. And yeah, I know that Google has this thing where if you take it on the keyboard, it will allow you to type on your phone. I think it is built for this car or this infotainment system. I digress. It works. It gives me the map. It gives me all the controls on the steering column. It just works for me. I really like it. I have been using Android Auto for every bit of my commute and even trips, and it's just something I cannot go to another system now. It's just amazing. It's so useful, it's so easy, and it just works. It's that good. That's pretty much it, guys. I did want to make a video showing you guys all of this. It ran for a little bit too much, but all I can say is I just love this car. It is such an amazing car. I love riding it. I love driving it. I'm a biker, right? But this car is something which I really enjoy. Just taking out on the road, cruising around, going to places. It can do pretty much everything I ask it to do. Maybe it will not be doing it easy or no sweat, but hey, I don't know, maybe that's the fun of it, making it do something anyways, even though, and it's never going to say no to you. That's the thing. Am I a bad guy just expecting my car to do whatever you want without saying no? Well, that's not for me or you to decide. Whatever. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that Kiger. I love this car. It's really good, and I'm gonna enjoy it for a long time. So there you have it. Hope you guys liked the video. Please share, subscribe, and like the video if you found it useful. See you guys later. This is a car I fell in love with every time I took it out for a spin. It has its own niggles, its own rattles, and its own inconveniences. But the way it made me feel is unlike any other car I have driven yet. For what it's worth, I absolutely love this car and look forward to heading off into many more adventures. And I have no issues recommending this one to anyone who wants to go on that adventure. It may not be a duster, but hey, if you own one, welcome to the gang. Thank you for watching.